this meeting to order. 2 o'clock, Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. We're here for a update from Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections, our annual report with Jay Storm, and I will turn it over to you.
Okay. You guys probably recognize the report from last year. This is just kind of the same thing that we'll do today is just kind of go through these numbers. So that first page where it says youth arrests. So this page reflects a breakdown of arrests and petitions for the past 3 years and the type of charge. And so you can see in that youth arrests, there's only 5 in 2023 for that calendar year. And that's down, from 2022 and 2021. So it's an interesting trend because most counties, the numbers are going up. So, and then just talking to Mike throughout the years, the numbers for juveniles have been down this year, which is great. Yeah. You can see detention admissions, 12 for 2023 compared to 13 for 2022. Youth petitions, there's 8 in 2023 compared to 28 in 2022.
And help me understand what a youth petition is.
Well,
do
you want to? I have to see. I don't deal with this too much, so I have to have cheat notes. So this is usually Mark's realm, but it's a document that tells the court that there is a claim that the youth committed an offense. Mm-hmm. So they'll take that petition and go to court, and the judge decides if they can be charged with that or not. Correct. Is that basically? Yeah.
And then the detention admissions would be where they
they're
they
over
received
in
Kootenai County.
Region 1 detention facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then looking at charges, there were 29 charges that were filed in Shoshone County in 2023, and the breakdown of the charges are as follows. So there was 2 felony charges in 2023 compared to 20 in 2022, so a big drop there. And misdemeanor charges, there were 19 in 2023 and 49 in 2022. So another decline there. And then status offenses, there were 8 in 2023 and 2 in 2022. Now that's not to say that these numbers are always going to stay this low for this year. I would expect that they're going to go up just based on, I don't know what we're seeing across the state, but you guys are, I don't know, I don't want to say
our population
sheltered, but I know there's been a lot of activity as far as in the adult world, right?
Yeah.
As far as
it's increased everywhere.
Yeah. So
We're seeing more activity in the diversionary type of program or cases where the truancy numbers are higher than we normally would see. But yeah, I know, especially with some things that I am aware of that are going on out there, we're going to see an increase. There's definitely some activities that need some attention.
Oh. And do most of your clientele, do they come from the Kellogg area?
Kellogg, Pinehurst,
Gotcha.
That area.
Yeah.
Larger population all through there.
Gotcha. Do you know if Kellogg has an SRO in the school?
They do.
Okay.
They have Kellogg High School and the middle school.
Awesome. Good deal.
Does Wallace have one?
No. No, this respond by the sheriff's office.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they've had them in the past, but due to the budget constraints, and the numbers being down, I think they've just started dealing with them on an individual basis.
Yeah, I know with those SROs, if you have good ones and they're in the school, then that can help kind of catch those kids at an early age and get them services rather than them just continuing to escalate until they can.
Yeah, we've definitely had some involvement with the SRO diverting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even to diversion. So they're actually, doing the community policing and working with the school, right in the school, dealing with some of it, especially the beginning of the year was vaping was the big thing was going on.
Yeah.
They put that out in a hurry, so the fire never really got started.
And I think a lot of counties across the state are really trying to focus on that diversion program to kind of intercept them when they're at that lower level and hopefully get them services before they commit more serious offenses. So the next page talks about probation and diversion. So it's just a comparison of the releases versus intakes. And so you can see in 2023 there were 16 releases and 18 intakes. Numbers are about the same as far as that goes in comparison to 2022. Diversion intakes and releases, there were 14 releases and 6 intakes. Probation success rate 100% for 2022. And then diversion success rate 86%. So, and I mean, that number is just kind of is what it is. I mean, it gives the kid gets a chance to do well on diversion and not have to go on, full blown probation. But some kids just don't want to take the opportunity to correct
I
themselves.
don't recall my father ever giving
Or
me
take
that
it and
option.
don't follow through with it.
Yeah.
No,
I don't recall that.
I think we had a similar policy.
Yeah.
Need more of those nowadays, I think. Intake. So this is an overview of the area's average youth offender. So again, the average youth offender in Shoshone County is 14 to 16-year-old white male, which that is consistent across the state. And unless you go to a county like Canyon County or maybe some counties in eastern Idaho where you might have a bigger Hispanic population, but usually that 14 to 16-year-old white male is going to make a bulk of the youth offender. You can see it makes up 95% of the people at intake. And then the age at point of intake, you can see 54% from 14 to 16, 17% from 11 to 13, 21% for 17-year-olds, and then 8% for 18 or younger. So, and just state numbers again, I guess they're starting to, across a lot of the state, that 11 to 13 year range is starting, those numbers are starting to go up. Not sure why that is, but I've been hearing that from a lot of counties, especially I think Benawa maybe, and then Shoshone. So my territory is at 10 northern counties, but all the rest of the 8 counties, they've seen an increase in younger offenders. And then at gender at point of intake, 29% are female, 71% male.
Has that changed much?
This hasn't changed much. I think Shoshone typically has been in that 70 to 30% range, but numbers are going up across the state for more female offenders. I think Nez Perce County was at 54% for males and 46% for females.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So. And then the next page says the September 30th snapshot. So this is just a one-day snapshot of the youth on probation, diversion, or in IDJC custody. So on September 30th, 2023, we just take a snapshot of what's going on in Mike's department. So on that day in 2023, he had 18 youth on probation, 2 in diversion, and then 1 kid committed. And I can't remember as far as right now. Do you still have just 1 kid committed? Yeah.
Well, actually, no.
Did he just get released?
He just got released.
Okay, yeah. So
He's the one from Florida.
yeah, and typically you're either 0 or 1. You usually don't have a whole lot of kids that get committed out of Shoshone County. And then the next part is you can see that there were 381 hours of community service completed, and there was no restitution paid directly to the victims. The next graph is the percentage of youth who recidivated at 6, 12, or 24 months. So that means juveniles who have been adjudicated of a new misdemeanor or felony after being released from probation is what those are. So you can see 0 at the 6-month mark, 17% at the 12-month mark, and then 17% at the 24-month mark. And basically that's 2 juveniles that recidivated after release from probation. And again, that percentage is really good. I think nationally it's in the 23 to 25%. But again, I think that shows that a majority of the kids that come through probation or with Shoshone County end up doing pretty well, at least afterwards.
We must have some exceptionally skilled people that are working.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, I would agree. And then the next page is state funds. So this just talks about the funds received from legislature, funds spent on juvenile treatment in the community, and the percentage of juvenile justice budget that these state funds make up. So in 2023, $25,012 was passed down to Mike's department from the Juvenile Corrections Act. $30,307 was passed down through tobacco and cigarette taxes, and then $4,440 was passed through from the lottery. And so the JCA money and the tobacco and cigarette taxes, they don't really, those numbers kind of, I mean, they go up a little bit through the years, but they're usually pretty standard. Lottery is based on winning, so if somebody won a big jackpot or something, then you would see an increase in funds, and that's happened in some counties.
It's only on
I've
wins
seen
and
a
not
major,
sales.
Only
just
wins.
once that I can remember.
Yeah.
Everybody really got, and I think it was like $50,000 for our county.
Yeah. Then that next area is the state behavioral health funds spent on juvenile treatment in the community. So Shoshone County spent 180, or was able to apply and get $180 for that substance use expenditure. So, and there were 3 youth served. So if a kid's not on Medicaid, they've got to be on probation. And if they can't pay for the funds or pay for the treatment, then Mike can apply for funds so that youth can get treatment. And then CBAS expenditures, that's the mental health and behavioral addiction treatment needs, and you can see no youth were served there. And then the next part is just the juvenile justice budget, percent of state funding. So that just tells you what percent of those pass-through funds make of Mike's budget. So 25% in 2023. So, but I think, yeah, I mean, you're the first one. This is the first county, I guess, in the 10 northern counties and others that I'm aware of across the state where the numbers have gone down. So.
And they've been trending that way, so I'm always waiting for it to go back up. I'm not holding my breath.
I would guess that they will next year, I would think, but yeah.
But we don't know why they trended down. No theories on.
You can guess, but I'm not going to be exact. I'm sure there's lots of reasons. I would wish that kids were behaving, and we all know. I really do think that right now a lot of those kids are being dealt with in the community, and we're not seeing them pass through a court. So that's why I say when that
Having more
community policing.
programs available, or
Oh, really? I think he's brought up one of them, and that's the SRO program where they're dealing with them right there at the school and whatever. Or I know that law enforcement also, if they deal with some kids, especially if they're a younger kid, they'll have them work with them and do some community service type of work, and not even bring a petition or a report to the not a petition, a report to the prosecutor. So.
Yeah.
So they're actually taking care of things out there on the street. So, or even talk to the parents and those kind of things. I know that's what's happening out there. But I think the SRO situation is really when they have issues. And I'm directing it at Kellogg because I know that there was issues there at one point with vaping particularly. But they dove right in and took some measures and have dealt with it. And of course, it didn't pass through this way. They dealt with it there and didn't go through the court. I can tell you that right after I'm done with this meeting, I'm going to go upstairs and have a meeting with the SRO and the prosecutor, reference some situations that might increase these numbers.
Might increase them.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So,
Okay. Well, sounds like good job.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Christy is one that actually deals with them. Christy Miller deals with them directly. She oversees each case there, so I give her kudos for that. And she's works good with the kids and also the parents, which is really important. And we've seen, I can just think of a couple of kids that are more difficult, high-risk kids, and they've responded over the year. They had their ups and downs, like you would usually see in a case, but they've corrected their behavior, and hopefully they'll maintain it, not just while they're teenagers, but as they move into adulthood.
That would be best for everybody concerned.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, again, kudos to you and your team.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the information in,
Oh, yeah.
in an understandable form.
Oh, sure. You bet.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I had one more question I was going to ask you here at the. I had a while you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt, and I had one. Oh,
The community.
I was just going to ask you on the first page.
Okay.
Since the public watches these, and some folks are very interested in what's going on, we outlined felony and misdemeanor, but would you define for them status offenses? I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, so like tobacco, truancy. So basically any crime that if adult did that, it wouldn't be a charge. It wouldn't be illegal. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, so I want to make sure.
Private consumings and that's.
Yeah.
Time-consuming, truancy, runaways,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Okay, you're describing some adults now.
Yeah.
Okay, uncontrollable. All right.
Yeah.
Any further questions?
No. No, they do a great job. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys have a good probation department.
we have. We're pretty tickled with that. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
What's
Well, I
that
see
buck
that
or
first.
whatever?
I mean,
Dollar won't even get him a candy bar.
No, we gotta step it up here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I walked in Walmart the
We'll
other
have
day,
to
like
ask
$2 for a
some
candy
more
bar.
resources.
Yeah.
Mental health.
Yeah. Well, she mentioned services are kids getting services, and some kids are, but we still don't have enough services in northern Idaho. I mean, even in Kootenai County, the big town, they still lack services, and there's still a long waiting list. So
yeah.
I don't know when that's going to change, but
Being on the Board of Health, I mean, that's a struggle everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're really trying to.
How big of a solution are parents? What
Well, I think it's key.
Yeah.
To
well, it wasn't my upbringing, but yeah,
whoever's supporting the child, whether it's mom, dad, mom and dad, mom, stepdad, whatever those situations may be, grandma, in that case, grandparents who do a lot of parenting. But yeah, if we can support them to help get those kids raised, that's 1,000 times better than having them go to the Department of Juvenile Corrections, because we all know they come home.
Yeah.
They don't ever, the state doesn't want to keep them forever, and we don't want them to. We prefer, and our goal is to keep them in the community and surround them with much support as we can get. So yeah, we'll aunts, uncles, people neighbor down the street that supports the family, anybody.
Yeah. I've been working with the state since 2003, so it's always a parental issue if a kid gets committed. If it gets to that point, it's always they're just a product of their environment. Unless, there's been a kid here or there that burnt down a building just messing around. They didn't have a criminal history, but the crime was big enough that they committed the kid, and he had good parents. But that's maybe 2 or 3 out of hundreds and hundreds of kids. Usually it's parents.
parents can make a huge difference,
Yeah.
or whoever the supporting person is for the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I thought. That was my experience as a school teacher.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. My wife's a school teacher.
Mm.
She's really frustrated with the way kids are today,
Yeah.
because they just don't want to do their work, and they don't respect authority, and
We've lost morals and respect.
Yeah.
And
No, it's just
everything.
nuts.
The social media is the.
well, they talk about
Yes.
kids being distracted by phones, but parents are as well, right? They're coming in.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the kids.
Yeah.
That's why I'm actually surprised that we don't have more numbers coming off of the COVID situation and kids full time back in school.
Mhm.
I know the behaviors are there, but kudos to the school because they're dealing with them because we all know they're there.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Much
Well,
appreciated. We're adjourned.
always good to see you.
Yeah.